Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie and this is Mrs. Summers Budgets. Before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate you guys deciding to consistently support my channel. As of the recording of this video, I have 392 subscribers, so I am almost to 400 and I'm really excited about it. So again, thank you guys so much for deciding to stick around. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with our weekly check-in, and I will tell you guys all of the drama for the week. So the first thing we have here is my husband's pay. He got his usual $1,300, and I'm ill prepared, digging for highlighters over here. Okay. Alright, the next thing we have here is daycare for $140. My son barely went to daycare last week because he had an ablation last Tuesday. So he, I don't think he went to school on Monday. Maybe he did, but he didn't go to school Tuesday. Wednesday he did go to school, but they called us to pick him up early because he, trying to think, this wasn't even the week he had the ablation. That was this week. I'm trying to think what happened this week. So he must have gone to school Monday and Tuesday, and Wednesday they called us and asked us to pick him up because he was beside himself, screaming and hollering and throwing himself around the room. Like, they couldn't do anything with him. His daycare teacher couldn't get him to calm down. The lady who sits in the front office couldn't get him to calm down. So we had to go pick him up from daycare in the middle of the day on Wednesday. So I left him home with me on Thursday just to see, you know, what was going on with his behavior, maybe, you know, just seeing if I could recreate whatever the problem was at daycare, but he had a great day Thursday. So Friday I was going to take him to daycare, but then he had a fever. So this was probably the beginning of him on Wednesday getting sick, and he just wasn't feeling well. So he didn't go to school Thursday or Friday last week. But you know, with daycare you have to pay for the whole week regardless of how many days you go. On Friday we went out to eat. We went to Wendy's. It was $33.26. We did our grocery haul through Kroger this week. I didn't record it because I wasn't home when Kroger came. So my husband and kids just put the groceries away for me with no haul. They said they were so happy that I wasn't doing a haul so they could dive right into everything that I bought. Because usually they have to wait for me to record my video. So that was $200.68, which was under budget for the week, but we are, I think we have like $180 left for the month before we will be over budget. So I'm not sure if we can make it this last week on $180, but I'm going to definitely try. We had a credit card bill come out for $105. I was intending to take my kids to the fair this past weekend, but as you can hear, I still have a cold and I just was not feeling up to it. So we did not go to the fair, aside from Carter being sick. He had a fever Friday, Saturday, essentially all weekend. So we went to Walmart and got like just an inflatable pool with a slip and slide attached. I didn't get what I wanted because they were literally sold out of every like pool thing at Walmart besides the big like Coleman pools, which I didn't want to get. So we got this $51.34 pool and slip and slide combination. for the kids to play in because we live in Florida. It was pretty warm this past weekend. And then something exciting, after we went to Walmart, got this pool at Walmart, and after we went to Walmart, we went to Tractor Supply and got some baby chicks and the stuff that we needed to start taking care of them. So we got some food, something to hold water, some like pine shavings, not too much other stuff. I can't really remember, but that was $68.08 for 4 Buff Orpingtons and a few supplies we needed to take care of them. I'm going to insert a picture right here or a little video so you guys can see them. They're so cute. I did deposit $70 into our checking account that I took from our pet sinking fund to make this purchase, because I wasn't necessarily planning on it in our budget, but we had plenty of money to do that from our sinking fund. So $70 went in to our checking account to pay for the chicks. Something else that I had to do for my kids this week was contact Jetson. We have a Jetson e-bike that they got for Christmas. Carter. We have a Jetson e-bike that they got for Christmas that has been acting up. Like the power won't stay on it. I'm not sure why. So it was working just fine up until this past weekend. So I paid $4.99 for them to ship us out a new Jetson bike before we sent back the old one. And then they'll charge my card for the bike if we don't send it back. But I didn't have a box to put the bike in, so I needed them to send the new one before... Stop, please. I needed them to send the new one before I sent back the old one. I think it's just a battery issue, but they told me they don't replace just the batteries, and it's under warranty because we just got it in November. So we're getting a whole new e-bike. I hope we don't have this problem again, or I'm going to be highly upset. So for gas this week, my husband spent $38. The reason he only spent $38 is because he was driving a rental all week. My husband asked me to make an appointment for him to get an oil change and do a diagnostic on his truck because it was making like a chirping noise. His check engine light was not on, but he said that the car was making a chirping noise. So while his truck was in the shop to be looked at, he had a rental truck from Ram, and I guess it was full when they gave it to him, so he only put $38 in it before he ended up giving it back to them. The same day I got gas for $52.33. Move, baby. Okay, so the next thing on here is a prescription for some amoxicillin. So like I said, Carter woke up Friday. Carter woke up Friday with a fever, and he had one all weekend into Monday. Even though I had been treating his fever, it just wouldn't stay away. So I took him to the emergency room, and it turns out that he has pneumonia in his lower left lobe of his lung, his lower lobe of his left lung. So he has a prescription for amoxicillin. It was $11.78. Taking that 2 times a day for 10 days. As you guys know, he just had the ablation, so now he has pneumonia. He was tested for COVID and flu and RSV in there. I tested myself for COVID at home, and it was negative. So I don't know what's going on with my nasal congestion. My husband was like, maybe it's just allergies, but I don't think it's allergies. I just don't know. I'm still pretty congested. It doesn't seem to be getting any better. It's not getting any worse though. It's staying the same. So hopefully in the next week I'll be feeling better. If not, I'm going to go to the doctor. But I just knew it wasn't normal for him to have a fever for like 4 days in a row with me treating it with Motrin. So yeah, $11.78 for his amoxicillin. And then our solar panels came out for $155.76. Although we didn't get to go to the fair in our local county this past weekend, make sure you guys can see what I'm doing.
Mommy!
Carter, stop, baby.
Let's get old.
So even though we weren't able to go to the fair in our local county, the next county over is having a fair this next coming week. So I went ahead and pre-ordered armbands and gate admission tickets for that. So for 2 adult tickets and 2 children's tickets, Carter's ticket was free, and 3 unlimited ride wristbands, it was $84. So hopefully I'm planning to take them on Good Friday, since they'll be out of school and I'm off that day. So next Friday we'll have us a nice little fair day. $84 for gate admission and wristbands. And then today Carter had his follow-up appointment with his cardiac specialist to check him out after his ablation, and everything looked great. Everything looked beautiful. He's good to go. He has a follow-up in 6 months just to check on him, but everything looked really good. They were very happy, so that is great. So yeah, back to my husband's car situation. So what ended up happening was the Ram dealership called him and told him that his truck was ready to be, or not that it was ready to be picked up. They called us to tell us what was wrong with it. So they told him the idler pulley, the tensioner belt, and something else needed to be replaced. So it was going to be like $1,200 to do all 3 of these things. So we were like, okay, go ahead. While you've got it in there, go ahead and knock that out. Great. So my husband goes to pick up the truck, and once they bring it out of the back and they like pull it up for him to take it, now my husband's already gone inside and paid the $1,200, $1,300 it was with the oil change and the repair. So once the guy pulls out of the back with the truck and pulls up, my husband was like, the truck is still making the same noise I brought it in here for. And the guy was like, well, I didn't realize that until I brought it up here. And I'm thinking to myself, well, don't you guys like test drive the vehicles or something to make sure whatever you supposedly fixed is fixed? So they ended up giving my husband a rental truck and left his Ram there to continue to work on it. So like the next day or the day after that, he gets a phone call and the service guy's like, okay, so we took the tensioner belt off, which I guess is what they thought was the problem, and the truck's still making the noise. So they were like, we're going to take the engine apart and see, you know, what the problem is. So they do all of that, and come to find out, they said they took the oil pan off and there was metal in the oil pan. So something inside the engine is grinding and breaking off metal shards or metal pieces into the oil pan. So all of that to say that they say he needs a new engine, and it's going to cost $12,000, you guys. $12,000. He has a 2015 Ram 1500. He's had it a year and a couple of months. He bought it at the end of 2021, and it has 112,000 miles on it. 12,000 miles more than the powertrain warranty covers. So to say that we're shocked would be a complete understatement. Like, I don't even know, you know, like, we don't have $12,000 to pay for a brand new engine. We don't want to charge $12,000 now that we're trying to get out of debt to put a brand new engine in his car. So, we're like trying to put our heads together. No, hush. We're trying to put our heads together and figure out what we can do to remedy this situation. So the first thing we've thought about is between our emergency fund and our sinking funds, we have $5,000. So the first thing we thought was, well, let's trade the truck in and put $5,000 down to, you know, cover the negative equity, help with the negative equity, and you just get a different vehicle. So he tried to do that, and he owes $32,000 on the truck, and they were only willing to give him $20,000. So the negative equity was $12,000. So that, on top of new car prices with interest rates, the loan to value on the loan for the new car would be like 200%, which the bank wasn't going for that. So we couldn't do that. The next thing that we've been thinking about is just taking like the $5,000 and buying a cash car, like just a commuter vehicle for him to use to get back and forth to work, because we do have my van, which we can use to tow all of us around if we need to, and to just keep the truck and use it sparingly. Like if we need to pick up something from, you know, not planning on buying anything anytime soon, but if we needed to like pick up something that needs to be in a truck bed, you know, from Home Depot or something like that, we could use the truck to do stuff like that. And he could just drive the car every day, just like a little cash car, so we don't have a car payment, and we just continue paying his car payment, the $576 on his truck, until we get it paid off or paid down to where he's able to trade it in. The third thing we've been thinking about is we do own a piece of, I don't even know what it's called, like a tractor, a piece of equipment. We have a mini skid steer. So my husband listed it on a couple of platforms, and he's trying to sell it and the attachments that we have for around $15,000 to pay for his engine replacement, all from the sale of this tractor we have. He told me today that he got a couple of hits. He told me today that he got a couple of hits on the tractor, so people are interested in it, but I'm not sure how long it's going to take for him to sell it. So those are the three things we are thinking about doing as far as taking care of this surprise bill that came out of nowhere without accruing any more debt. Let me know what you guys would do if you guys were in this situation. Now that I'm saying it out loud, like, I feel like maybe we should go to another Ram dealership and get a second opinion, since this dealership thought something was wrong with the car and charged us to fix all of that, and then it turns out it's something different, or they say that it's something different. They didn't end up giving us any money back for the parts or the labor for what they initially charged us for. So on top of the $12,000, now we have to pay this $1,200 charge that we put on our credit card before our statement closes next month for the repair that they did that was not needed. So that's been my fun week. Illness, pneumonia, car troubles, you know, but we did get chicks, so that was a bright spot. All right, so let's do the check-in. Let me see if I need to zoom out a little bit. There we go. All right, so for income, we had sinking funds. We didn't budget for that, but we did bring in $70. So $1,300, $77.46, and 70. It's $1,447.46. For fixed expenses, we had daycare for $140, and we had Archie's credit card for $105, and our solar panels for $155.76. So that is correct at $476. Trying to see, I feel like I pulled out our sinking fund money, but I don't see it on here. Let me come back to that. For groceries, we did 268 cents. Nothing for personal money. For cars, we only did 38 and 52.33, which is 90.33. Nothing for household. For pets, we did 68.08, which was the stuff for the chicks. I once again still have not gone to get. Okay, I'll be right there. I haven't gone to get my dog's flea and heartworm medication. I'm planning on doing that tomorrow. I've just been busy, I guess. I don't know, busy and tired, that's for sure. I don't have the energy to bring the pups. I called the vet because I was going to ask them if my husband could just come and pick up the medicine on his way home. And they said that Duke is like right on the cusp with his weight of being into the next weight bracket with the medication. So they want us to at least bring in Duke to get weighed. And then once they stop gaining weight every month, because so far they've been gaining like 5 pounds a month. So once they've, you know, been stable without weight gain for a couple of months, we won't need to bring them in anymore to be weighed. So tomorrow, my husband's off, so I'm going to ask him to take Duke to be weighed and pick up their medication. So the 68.08 was just for the chicks and the chick stuff. Alright, sorry guys, I had to get Carter something to eat, and I went and checked my sinking funds. I did pull out 70 for my car sinking fund and 70 for my house sinking fund. I just forgot to write them on my tracker here, so I went ahead and did that also. So the balance should be $337.24. Alright, so for kids, we spent $51.34, $4.99, and $84, which is $140.33. For medical, we spent $25 and $11.78, which is $36.78. And for eating out, we spent $33.26. Nothing for unbudgeted. Okay, 268 cents, 90.33, 68.08, 140.33, 36.78, and 33.26. Yes.
I eat all my mac and cheese.
Very good.
And Caleb eat the mac and cheese.
Oh, Caleb helped you eat it?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for letting me know.
You're welcome.
$569.46 for our cashless envelopes. $140 for our sinking funds, and nothing for our miscellaneous expenses.
Are you ready to play?
So now I'm going to subtract the totals from each category from our income. And that leaves $337.24, which is what my tracker says. So that will be what we roll over into week 5. So to close out the month, what we plan on doing is not contributing to our debt snowball. That was going to be a little over $200 that we had planned to do. We're not going to put $200 into savings. We're not going to pull $70 for I think it's our kids sinking fund, and $70 for our pet sinking fund. We're not going to pull those. Rusty. Shh. That's money that we're going to use to pay towards the $1,200 bill that we got for my husband's car repair. And whatever extra money we have left out of our categories, we're going to funnel into that also. So I'm anticipating us needing an extra like $400 or $500, which I'm going to, with great sadness, pull from our sinking funds jars so that we don't have to pull anything out of our emergency fund. That will still leave us with a little over $4,000 in there. Yeah, so that is all of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.